Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can start today's lab session. So today we are going to do nonlinear simulation of electromechanical engine chamber control. So earlier what we have done is linear model. So linear model to non-linear model, how we can model and how we can take the responses like that we can do. For this non-linear system, we are using only PI plus rate feedback control. You are first you are done with the P plus rate feedback. Second one PI plus rate feedback. Third one is PID controller. So this non-linear system analysis you are using only P plus I plus rate feedback only. So your input will be there, comparator will be there, and your P plus I plus rate feedback, and your plant will be there, omega and theta. And this theta you are feedbacking to the system, and this is actually unity feedback system. So you have to give here theta reference as input. And this is a unity feedback system, so you have to give a theta reference as input. So this theta reference and this will compare, and according to the error signal it will generate a control signal, and this control signal is passing through a power amplifier circuit. So if it is analog or digital control, so in the case of digital control, you are using this controller, any circuits or board or a processor is using for this control implementation. So this input of this one will be control input to the processor or circuit board. So controller examples are, some of you are done with some Arduino or Raspberry Pi, or you can use this processor of PC also, or mobile processor, anything you can use as this controller. And controller input will be maximum 0 to 5 volt only. So these kind of processors can handle up to 5 volts only. So the theta reference should be given to this input as 0 to 5 volt range, and all the sensors are working at 0 to 5 volt for voltage sensor, or 4 to 20 milliamps for current sensor. So this one is giving here, and this controller will produce some signal that is going to a power amplifier circuit. This 5 volt output it can produce. So your motor will be some 28 volt or 50 volt or 100 volt like that. So this corresponding signal, this control signal, is going to a power amplifier circuit, and the power amplifier is having input. If it is a DC motor, DC input will be there, and according to the signal, it will produce a PWM signal here, and it will switch the power amplifier circuit, and it will produce a voltage corresponding to this theta reference. So this power amplifier circuit is actually it having this signal input and DC input, and it will produce a output. This output corresponding to the voltage signal or voltage of this motor. So if it is a 28 motor, maximum it can produce 28 volt plus or minus 28 volt. So if this controller is demanding more voltage to maintain some theta, but your power amplifier cannot give that voltage because its DC value is maximum 28 volt. So the DC value is 28 volt only it can supply. So if the theta reference wants more than 28 volt, it cannot supply. This power amplifier cannot supply to the load. So there comes the first nonlinearity called supply voltage limit. Supply voltage limit. So if your theta reference and this feedback element is coming here, and this controller demands more than 28 volt, this power amplifier circuit cannot give 28 volt. No, it cannot give more than 28 volt. This power amplifier circuit is actually H bridge. This plus volt, positive and negative volt will be there, and this S1, S2, S3, S4 switches will be there, and motor is connected through. So at any point S1, S2 is on, this current flow will be this direction, and the motor rotation in this direction, and the S3, S4 is on. Here it will be plus and here it will be minus. When S1 is on, S2 is on. S1, S2 on means this will be positive and this will be negative, and current flow from here to here. Motor rotation will be like this. And the S3, S4 is on. That time S1, S2 will be off. This will be on. Means positive will be here and negative will be here. Current flow will be like this, and motor will be rotated like this. And S1, S4 and S3, S2 on is never possible for such power amplifiers, because it will short circuit this plus 2 minus. So this is not possible for this H bridge power amplifier configuration. These two values are not possible. So here you are giving only 28 volts, but the theta reference is one more than that. It cannot supply in practically. Practically it cannot supply. So in simulation also, you have to restrict the power supply limit. So you are limiting the power supply in simulation also. For that purpose, in Simulink, you are adding a saturation block. After the PI plus rate feedback control. So if the controller demands more than 28 volt, it cannot give. For that purpose, you are adding a saturation block there. So that is actually a non-linear system, because the saturation block is like this. So if you are giving the saturation levels plus 10 volt and minus 10 volt, so if some signal is coming, if it is a sine wave like this, if the voltage of peak voltage is 5 volt, then output will be 5 volt only. It will give exact sine wave. So when it is crossing 10 volt, if it is some 12 volt, the output will be like this only. So you cannot get a sine wave here. At 10 volt it will saturate and the output will be like this. So if you are giving a sine wave like this 12 volt and your saturation block is 10 volt, it will flip the portion here. So here if you are using a linear system, this amplifier is like this. So it can amplify anything. 12 volt is giving 12 volt output will be getting here. So in between on saturation block is added. So the linear property is not there. So this is the second nonlinearity that is given in B portion. B portion supply voltage limit. So in this motor capacity is 28 volt. It is driven by a PWM amplifier of H type configuration and the supply voltage limit is 28 volt. So you are giving the limit in the simulation also 28 volt. It is represented by plus or minus Vs in the simulating block. And second one is actuator stroke limit. So you are having a motor and your requirement is to drive a engine gimbal. So this is a gimbal point and here is the mounting bracket. Here is the actuator is coming. So our requirement is it can only move plus 4 degrees and minus 4 degrees only. So it will push like this and pull like this. So it can move maximum of 5 degree in the output in this positive direction and this negative direction. So plus or minus 4 degree in the output side is only allowed. Otherwise, so you are studied about flight mechanics or something. In that flight, your maximum that's angle of attack is giving plus or that 18 degrees or something like that only you can give. So normally you will not give like this. So here also the actuator is limited to this maximum. So if it is going beyond, it will crash. Like that, something will happen. So this rocket also like that. It is given maximum of plus or minus 4 degrees, maximum stroke limit. So it is in the output side, that is load side. So load side you are not using anything in the simulation, you are only using theta of m. So you have to convert this load degrees, 4 degrees to motor side. For that purpose, you have to multiply it with the gear ratio, that is 398, and you have to convert that degrees into radians. That is why this plus or minus 4 into 398 into pi by 180 is your maximum output deflection. The maximum output deflection is this one. So you have to limit the maximum output stroke, that theta, to this value. So maximum input also will be like this only. Theta reference you have to give maximum of this value. This value only you have to give as a maximum for theta. Theta reference maximum is plus or minus 4 into 398 into pi by 180. Because it is the maximum value allowed by maximum value allowed is plus or minus 4 degree, that corresponding to this value. And maximum output shaft deflection should be this one only. That is the maximum quantity. but you will not operating it in maximum because you will give some allowance. So 3.83 will be some maximum you will allow. So it is not going like that. So it is an actuator stroke limit. So actuator stroke limit is maximum allowable output deflection in the load side. Load side it is plus or minus 4 degrees. So motor side will be like this. And third one is integrator output limit. So you are using a PI controller. So proportional plus integral. So KP will be here and error signal will be here. This K into 1 by S will be coming here. Plus and plus. So here you are using a op-amp circuit. So this integrator at all implemented using op-amp circuit only. So the op-amp having maximum voltage limit plus or minus 15 volt. So if it is integrating beyond that one, it is not a good practice. Its simulation will run long time. So you have to stop the simulation by this is plus 15 volt, this is minus 15 volt. So the curve will be like this. Normally this curve will be like this only. So in the linear range, it is plus 13 and minus 13 will be there. So you have to limit the integrator plus or minus 13 volt. So this is the third non-linearity called integral output limit, integrator output limit. So integrator output is simulation also you have to limit. Normally it is happening in the op-amp. Op-amp cannot drive more than 15 volt. So in the simulation also you have to limit that quantity to plus or minus 30. Another one is Coulomb friction. So Coulomb friction is coming here. So friction is coming here after it is developing the omega. The friction is coming. It is acting the sign of the direction of omega. So there is a signal function you can give. And this value of friction is 0.06 and that should be subtract from the net torque. So that is this loop for Coulomb friction. So next one is your procedure for this lab. This lab procedure is first one is step response. Step response you have to do first. What is the difference between linear step response and non-linear step response? Younger,
Yes, sir.
what is the difference between linear step response and non-linear step response? सो गया?
नहीं पता. Don't know, sir. Hello.
Okay. So anybody?
Sir, in nonlinear model, the output depends on the magnitude of step response.
Yeah,
Step
magnitude of input it will determine depends on the magnitude. So that is a difference. So here I am having one program. So here you are giving this input as 1 and this is the transfer function of the system. I am running this one and I am plotting this output. So this will be the response, and the peak is coming here. This peak is x is 1.12 and y is 1.32. So this time is 1.12 and the maximum value is 1.32 for this linear system. So I am giving this 9 and 9 so that it is coming as 1. It is settling at 1 because omega n square by a square plus 2 theta omega n plus omega n square. And if I am giving this final value as 100, and then also I am simulating, this values you note down. Again I am plotting also. I will get same response. Peak response will be like this. So it is settling at 100 only. It is settling at 100, and the peak response, that percentage overshoot, settling time, rise time, everything will remains as it is. So it will not change with the input. That is called linear system. So linear system you are taking for 1 volt input or 100 volt input or 1000 volt input or whatever it is, step response will be same. That is the peculiarity of linear system. So linear system you are giving 1 volt sine wave also you will get the same response. 10 volt sine wave also you will get that sine wave response will be same. That frequency domain Baudot response will be same. If it is a non-linear system, so now I am adding a non-linearity called saturation. The saturation I am adding in between, and the saturation upper limit is 10 and lower limit is a step input, so lower limit doesn't matter. And I am giving 1 volt. The step response will be same as earlier. So whatever I am given earlier, the step response will be same. This is same. So if I am changing the value to 11 or 100 or something like that, up to 10 only it will be linear. After that it gets saturated. So if I am plotting that one, I will get some other response.
Sir, run the code. Right.
It is settling to this value only, 10 only. Even 10 only. Yeah, giving final value as 100. It is settling at 10. So if you are giving a sine wave input also, this peak will be cut. So you can try this one for different inputs. That is a step response. So in that step response, you have to give the command amplitude corresponding to 100% sharp deflection. So 100% sharp deflection is this one only. So this input you have to give not one. So linear system one is giving, this one is giving, everything will be same. For this non-linear system, 100% command amplitude is this one. 100% command amplitude is this one. Okay. And keep the disturbance command amplitude as 0. Disturbance is coming here. So this is the disturbance. External some torque at all coming, that is called external disturbance. So for a flight this angle of attack is changing, the wind load will be coming. Sometimes wind load will be more or something like that. This is called external command, external disturbance. This will not appear all the time. Sometime only it will appear. So this disturbance is coming, how the system is behaving. How the system is behaving, that is you are checking the second experiment. So first time external disturbance is make it 0, that final value make it 0 only. Multiplying by this one to 0 means 0 only. So external disturbance first time it is 0. That is it is written here. Keep the disturbance command as 0. And the step command you have to change it to 5%, 10%, 15%, and 100%. And find the raise time. Raise time is 10% to 90% for each amplitude and enter the following table. So earlier it is easy things. If you are giving a step of that or linearize that one, and right clicking that one, you will get the characteristics, the rise time, settling time, everything will be getting. Now you have to do like this. So you have to do the response, run this one, plot it like this, and the 10% value and 90% value you have to calculate, and this will be the raise time. So you have to do it by your own. MATLAB will not give anything. So 100% command amplitude is this one, and raise time for 5%, 10%, 50%, 100% you have to calculate. That is step response, first part. Second one is disturbance response. Disturbance response means input you have to make it 0. Input equal to 0. So input you have to make it 0. So the step input you have to make it 0. Final value is 0. And you have to give the external disturbance input as 10% of the magnitude of disturbance is 10% of motor peak torque. Motor peak torque is KT into VS by RA. This is the maximum torque. The maximum voltage. So maximum voltage multiplied by KT will give you the peak torque. So 10% of that one is the disturbance input. So disturbance input, second case you have to give here, that is 10%. That is why this 0.1 is here. KT into VS by RA multiplied by 0.1. That is 10% of that value. That time this input will be 0. And you have to simulate the system. And you have to vary the KI value. KI value is the integrator gain. So integral controller gain, first you keep it 0, then K1 by 10, then K1 by 5. And after 10th second, the motor deflection you have to measure. Then motor deflection means theta you have to measure after 10th second. So it will be 10 seconds. So you have to give a step command in the disturbance input, and disturbance input value is this one. And after 10th second, so if you have to use, you have to use here step time as 0. Step time as 0 only. Otherwise, it default value step time is 1. If you are doing like that, you will get 90 seconds only. If you are going from here 1 second means this is not 10 seconds, it is 9 seconds only. 10 seconds you have to take 11 if you are using step time as 1. So you be careful about that. So motor shaft deflection you have to measure, and this will give you an idea about what integrator is doing. So integrator is using to, if your response is not settling to steady state error is there, making steady state error equal to 0, you are using integral controller. And second one is disturbance rejection. Disturbance rejection is the PI controller is doing disturbance rejection, and you can, if you are doing this in, you can directly see that the 0 value and this value is increasing, means how it is changing. So last time report, we are not written this thing. Disturbance rejection is one of the peculiarity of PI controller. Second one is it will be this input is like this, output will be following the input. The steady state error is making 0, you are using PI controller. So these are first part and second part. And model number 5, the PDF I sent you, that one only you have to do. The changes are from previous lab session. For this one is this PI and the rate feedback will be like this, and the K2 into KTG is as it is, and you have to insert here a limited integrator. So integrator limited, that is available in continuous block. So continuous block, this limited integrator you have to use, and the integrator limit value is here, it is PI controller, that is plus or minus 13, and this VS supply voltage limit is, this is saturation only. Saturation is available in discontinuous, this saturation, and this friction is, this is a gain block, and this is a signal function. This is available in math toolbox. Math toolbox it is available. Signal function, this is sine function. It's available in math toolbox. And this model number 5. This is JS plus B1 only, not B, because we are doing this KB part. I am now taken out. This KB is like this, so it is B1, and this KT KB by RI will be coming in the loop only. So this B1 is that KT KB by RI will not be there in that B, and this one is output, and this is the theta M limit, limited integrator, and this one is Y output. This output, the feedbacking element is Y, and make it array, and this T also make it array, and here it is, speed is coming here. This is speed omega, and that speed is coming here, and from here this torque is coming here, and this is called workspace option. This is called speed torque characteristic, that is you are going to do next lab only. So here torque is taking in the second part, and speed is taking in the first one. And this is actually a workspace option only. So speed is coming here, torque is coming here. This is called speed torque characteristic. Other things are as earlier, and this one is step input only. This, and you have to give input as theta M limit. Step time is 0, and the final value is THM underscore limit. So all of you got this paper now. This paper you are having now. So in this paper everything is written. This parameter file, this change is, this is B1. This is the B1 part. B1 is this one, and VS is this one, theta limit is this one, TFR, everything is given there. So this parameter file, earlier parameter file just some modification only K value is k1 by 5. No, k1 by 5. Step response, it will be k1 by 5 or k1 by 10, you can take it. T time limit you have to enter, TFR you have to enter, VS you have to enter. These three things you have to enter area and B1. Other things are remaining same. And you can start doing. Any doubt is there? You can ask me. And here we cannot do the linearization model. The linearization is for only linear system analysis. This is actually non-linear. So you have to do everything by your own. So if patch up these things, any doubt is there, you can ask me. So the first one is step response, second one is disturbance response. For step response, the standard disturbance is 0, and here you have to give 100%. T time limit as 100%. For disturbance response second bar, this only you have to give, this one make it 0. And you need not submit this report by next week. After completing C part and D part, you can submit one report. They're done.
Hello.
Hello?
Sir, beside that TFR gain,
Yeah,
one block is there. What is that?
that is signum function. It's a sign function. That is available in Math Toolbox. External disturbance is something that is acting in the load side. So if you are having a motor like this, motor is driving some load. So if it is some load that like that engine gimbal, so the wind load is coming here. That is acting as a external load. That extra load is acting in the load side. So that will not act all the time. It will act a very short time only. So that is the purpose of adding external disturbance here. So for taking step response, you make it this final value as 0. So you are not taking, if you are doing a step response, you are not considering the disturbances. You can consider both and you can do, but if you are doing separately, the step response will be unique for this system step response. And disturbance response, that time your input you are making 0 and disturbance response you will take it. You can take also the step input with this disturbance also. So that will be the third, that you can add it as a case number 3 or something like that. Here only you have to do A part is step response, B part is disturbance response. So step response you are taking, that time the disturbance part, disturbance command amplitude as 0. And when you are doing disturbance response, the input you have to make it 0. And the output sharp deflection only you have to take.
Sir, that black line is MUX, MUX.
Yeah, this is MUX signal routing. In signal routing, MUX will be there. Signal routing, this is MUX. MUX means it will take so many outputs and it will give one output. Input, so many input and it will give only one output. So you can double click on this MUX and you can add a number of inputs also. So it will take the signal and it will give the one output, and that output is in this MATLAB it is segregated to one first input, first second, like that it will segregate. First come, first out only. And the signal function is available in math toolbox, math operation, sign. And saturation is available in discontinuous flow.
External disturbances in the final value you have written something. Can you tell that?
Yeah, that is 10% of maximum peak torque multiplied by 0 only I given. For step response, disturbance command amplitude is 0. Otherwise, this value KT into Vs by Ra, that 10% of that is written here. The magnitude of disturbance is 10% of maximum peak torque. So KT into Vs by Ra multiplied by 0.1. For first experiment, I multiply again with 0. This is 0 value. Second experiment, need the 0 you have to remove. Here you have to put on 0. The input to the system is T time limit only. That is corresponding to maximum deflection 4 into 98 into pi by 180. That is a 100% input. So if you want to change it to 5% input, you have to multiply this with 0.05 like that and do it. Take the step response and find out the raise time. After the PI controller, this PI controller, this will generate a control signal that is given to H-bridge power amplifier circuit. The power amplifier is giving the driving voltage. This that voltage maximum limit and minimum limit is given as plus a Vs and minus Vs. For this experiment, it is 28 volt only. And this is the actuator stroke limit. Actuator stroke limit means actuator is rotating, that stroke limit is coming where you have to know. And this integrator output limit is, this PI controller is implemented. This is PI controller. PI controller. Supply voltage, power amplifier. This is actuator deflection. This one is friction. So if you are finished, you run it. And you can plot here plot this Y and T. So before that you have to enter the model configuration parameter everything as earlier. The model setting, model configuration parameter, fixed step OD for 0.001. This thing you have to enter. Then you run it. This Y and T will be available in MATLAB, and you have to plot it. Plot E, I. So you will get something. And from that 10% and 90% value, you note it down. 10% of that value and 90% of that value, the time you have to note it. So I am giving here 10. You have to give here theta m limit, and you vary 5%, 10%, 50%, and 100%. But I am giving there 10 only. And plot it. And 10% value you have to find out. 90% value you have to find out. 10% value and 90% value you have to find out. And this time T1 and T2 you find out. And the difference will be rise time. So how to take that one? That is why given 10 node. But you have to give T time limit. You note down the values. Finished? Hello?
Sir, can you tell me what is the steady state value that is coming for 100% input?
That you have to do.
For my case, it is coming nearly 27.7. Is it correct or wrong?
Yeah, race time only.
No, yeah, lifetime is coming approximately 0.3, 0.39.
So how you are calculating your input here? It is step time is 0, initial value is 0, final value is t time limit,
Yes, sir.
and you run it. The response you will get it. This disturbance input is 0, final value is 0.
Yes, sir.
Then you run it and plot t comma y. That configuration parameter are changed now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then you can plot it. Then 10% of this value. here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And you are getting 0.3.
0.39 something. Yes, sir.
Then your answer is wrong.
Rise time. Okay.
Rise time is 10% to 90%. So 10% line you have to click here, and 90% at value you are coming, you have to click there, and you have to subtract.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, that is why earlier you are right clicking characteristics and taking. That is for linear system only. Non-linear system, there is nothing, no option like that. So you have to calculate it by yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
If it is coming 0.3, it is wrong. So 100% value I am getting around 0.285 only.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the sign block, we have to disable that zero crossing detection.
Sine wave.
No, the sign block, the from the mathematics maths operation.
This that is only signum function, the sign of that function. Here that sign of the function. This is the value. No zero crossing detection or something you have to do. Because here it is a friction element only. So why you are required zero crossing? That is not required. It is actually naturally happening. So detection is not for your purpose.
Okay, sir.
So if you have done this one, Then you can make this t time limit to 0. And the disturbance input you have to give KT into VS by RA, 10% of that. Then you run it. Then again plot the t comma y. So after 10th second, so this is the 10th second. I am simulating from 0. So this 10th second value you have to note down.
Sir, what KI should we use for the first step response thing?
The step response thing, whatever you are using earlier, that thing you have to use.
Okay.
Earlier parameter for K is K1 by 10.
Yeah, okay, 1 by.
Yeah.
Okay.
So second case, this TDM you have to make it KT into VS by RA multiplied by 0.1, and the first time KI value will be set it to 0. KI multiplied by 0. Then you run it. Then you have to plot it, and this value is correct. And then you have to change Ki is equal to K1 by 10, K1 divided by 10, then K1 by 5. Like that you have to do. And plot t comma y, and at the 10th second, what should be the value? So you run it. So the simulation stop time is 10 only. So the final value you can take it. You're plotting this one. The final value you can take it. This is for second disturbance response. As the Ki value is increasing, that disturbance response, disturbance rejection will happen, and you will get the theta desired value, you will get it in output. A steady state error goes to, steady state error will be 0 if you are using proper Ki value. That is a peculiarity of PI controller. Disturbance rejection. That is why you are using this lab. Here PI plus right feedback only, not you are using PE plus right feedback, not checking all the things. You are checked these things earlier. So in nonlinear systems, this purpose, you are using PI plus right feedback. If your purpose is changing, you will go for some PD controller or PID controller. Sometimes you cannot add some I because the system transfer function will be going into some unstable condition if you are an integrator. So that time you will not add I, PD controller only you will use. So those who are completed, they can leave.